One thing that makes Minecraft so much fun for having play battles with your friends and enemies is that you can use real strategy when building your fortress. Build something that is really hard for people to break into. Today I want to talk about some strategies for building that fortress. First of all, you want to have the higher position so that you can see your enemies coming, so you can look down on them and shoot down at them. Now you might think you should go and find yourself a mountain and build your castle on top of a mountain. And that's a good strategy for real castles, but for Minecraft, it's a little bit of a problem because it's too easy for your enemies to chop into your foundations and blast away at your foundations. They're a weak point, and you don't want your foundations to be too exposed. What I like to do is find a very small, very isolated island and use that as the foundation of my castle. That way, even though your castle may not be that high in an absolute sense, it's higher than all of its surroundings. This one I've used for this prototype is even a little bit too close to the land. I would actually much rather it be more isolated than this, because you don't want it to be too easy for your enemies to build a land bridge to your castle. You want them to have to approach swimming. I also like filling the walls of the castle with lava. Even though lava is a little bit tricky to get in survival mode, it's worth it just to stop people from, or discourage people from just hacking in through your walls. You can see from this cross section from when I was building it that I made a thick outer wall protecting the castle, and then even in the tower I still put little veins of lava to discourage people from hacking into that. I like to put the lava source points towards the outside wall where there's water on the other side. That way, if they approach swimming and they approach in the water and hack a hole in the wall, then hopefully the water will come in and turn the lava to obsidian immediately, so that if the lava doesn't kill them, then they won't be able to hack through the wall unless they brought a diamond pickaxe with them. And now I'd like to take you on a little tour and show you some of the ideas I used in constructing this castle. The outer wall has 2 stories all the way around where you can place archers who can shoot any intruders. The people above can see the people below. There's a little platform to allow people to see over and shoot over the corner ramparts. But actually the platform is a hiding place, concealing a chest full of supplies. Each of the 4 corners on this level has a concealed chest. The top of the tower has 2 chests. This is partially for easy, quick access to supplies, but it's also as a distraction so that your enemies won't immediately figure out that there are chests hidden in the walls. There are 4 ways to get from the top of the tower to the basement: 2 spiral staircases and 2 ladders. The ladders are a bit of a trap, especially if the enemy is attacking at night, because if they don't know that you have to switch to a ladder to the left, then when the ladder ends, they can fall, get major fall damage, or die. The reason for having 4 ways down is to make it harder for the enemy to cut off your people on the top of the tower from their sources of supplies below in the basement. I like to put a farm in the basement, so there's no danger of running out of supplies. Here I used glowstone, but I think you can also farm with light sources that are easier to get in survival mode. I used this bed wall building the fortress, but I've left it there as a bit of a decoy. Maybe the enemy will waste time looking in the chests or the stove or break the bed. When attacking a castle, it's a good idea to break beds that you find, because then if the defending forces had slept in that bed last and they fall in battle, they won't respawn in the castle. So by the same token, when you're defending, you want to be sure that the beds your people actually sleep in are well hidden. The stairs to the top of the tower seem awfully exposed. However, it's actually easier from these stairs to see and shoot invaders below than in the opposite direction. On this floor, I put dispensers full of arrows in every direction. And now I'd like to show you all the cool stuff in the basement. It's a long way down. I watered my garden by chopping a hole in the ceiling. That's not a good idea in general because it could potentially offer an access point for your enemies. This chest is just a transfer point for tools and farmed goods. The best part of the castle is the underground labyrinth. Mushrooms in here. Here are the doors for accessing the farm animals. There's actually a monster spawner over here. By luck, I just happened to build on top of a dungeon. And here's the path to my secret treasure room. You can see I use different types and colors of blocks in different patterns to signal different parts of the maze. Aha, another birch bark arrow. It must be on here, right? Nope, the second arrow is a decoy to confuse the enemy. Just past the lava there's an elaborate cave system, and up the stairs there's a little labyrinth that I made so that to give the enemy plenty of opportunity to get lost in the basement. This stone brick signals the right path. I actually hid another storage room full of chests full of armor and weapons under these stairs. Here's where your people should sleep, so that they respawn inside the castle with chests full of weapons at hand. Here's all of the equipment you need for enchanting, making potions, crafting, etc. Now you may think it was pretty easy to find that treasure room, but I just want to show you a little bit how easy it is to get lost in this basement. Now, you don't want to neglect the labyrinth in the basement of your castle. Not only is it hugely fun to dig a three-dimensional labyrinth, but it's also a key part of your castle's defense. In Minecraft, you can dig through just about anything. However, when there's a network of existing tunnels, it's actually really easy to get lost. That's to your advantage because your enemies can't possibly know the precise coordinates of all of your secret rooms. They can even be fairly far from your castle. It's easy for your people to learn a particular path to a secret room and have it be that the path itself is extremely hidden and difficult to find if you don't know what you're looking for. As I said, I like to use different colors of blocks or different colored blocks in different patterns to indicate different parts of the maze. This makes it very easy for your own people to learn the paths they need to know, but doesn't actually necessarily indicate anything of value to your enemy invaders. I don't recommend using signs as an important part of indicating to your people which way to go, because they're just too obvious and too easy for your enemies to break and mess up. However, I do recommend using signs for fun as a distraction. I placed a whole bunch of signs throughout this labyrinth in the basement, and I just wrote all sorts of random silly stuff on them, just sometimes random characters, sometimes sentences and such like that, and hopefully my enemies, if they're not watching this video, will think that it's some sort of code. I also added 2 secret tunnels to escape from the underground regions of the castle. One of the tunnels leads to the mainland nearby, and the other tunnel leads to a farm on a faraway island. So again, we can do a little bit more farming to get some supplies for the castle, for the people in the castle. In this case, I actually just buried both of the entrances to secret tunnels in the dirt on the far end. But, in fact, it's probably even better to try to find a cave system and then come out through the mouth of a natural cave. That will make it even harder, actually, for them to find the entrances to your secret tunnels. These tunnels are also hidden in this labyrinth. Again, I don't want to make them obvious because if they manage to introduce even one spy into the castle, the spy, if it was very obvious where the escape tunnel, the secret escape tunnel was, and the spy goes through it and then finds the hidden, covered over mouth of the exit tunnel, then the enemy can just come in through this secret tunnel and your entire defenses are shot. So it's totally wasted all of the effort that you made to, make this big castle. If you don't by luck happen to build on top of a dungeon, you can probably tunnel towards a natural cave system or dungeon, and that will help you to hide some of your secret rooms and secret tunnels better. I actually probably spent more time cleaning out this dungeon and exploring it, this dungeon that's in the basement of my castle, than I spent building the castle, and it was a lot of fun. So, I hope you like these tips. I hope they're of use to you as you're building a castle to fight your various friends and enemies. If you find them useful, naturally, don't go out of your way to show your enemies this video. This is Asteroid Belt signing off.